Ollie Pridmore, you spent most of 2023 in the UK really improving your game. You kind of burst onto the scene, you dropped your handicap 10 points. Since 2023, throughout 2024, you've been back in Australia. People in the UK and the US might not have seen much of you recently. What have you been up to the last 12 months?
I came back for uni, unfortunately. So I came back for the Australian Open and stayed here. Started uni at the end of February, and all of 2024 just been studying and doing engineering. But whilst also playing in the Australian tournaments, going up to Melbourne a few times. But happy to have Oz Open in Hobart, that's for sure.
How's the tennis been coming on in the last 12 months?
Uni at the start of the year was quite difficult, and I had to step back from tennis a bit and cut it back to maybe once a week, if that. But past 6 months, it's been a little bit easier and been able to get back into it. Feel okay on court. Just been working on the small things, getting around the court a bit more, covering things like main more dead-ons, things like that. I've always been a bit weak on, and just trying to iron those out. Just beat the next person.
What's it like having the Australian Open here in Hobart on the court that you grew up in and that you're so intimately familiar with?
It's a bit of fun watching people who I know come along and struggle and dislike the court on their first hit, because I've always liked it, and so it's always entertaining to see that. I feel like I know the court better than I guess most people, and definitely glad that it's here because it makes life easier living here as well. My preparation for the tournament can't really get any better in terms of I've grown up here, so it's just home court.
And how's the body feeling? How's the game feeling coming into this Australian Open?
Pretty good. I've always been able to last a full match, and I feel pretty fit and healthy, I guess. Just being in the gym a bit as well, and just been working on my game.
Now, you're coming in for the first time in your career as a seed, as the 8th seed. How's it feel to get to that stage of your development where you're in the lower handicaps, really pushing on the door of those?
So I'm definitely 8th seed then, am I? Yeah. It's nice. I knew I was seeded in the doubles, which I was quite happy for, but I haven't really thought about it, I guess. Being 8th seed, I guess it's good to be in the middle of the pack in terms of the draw. But I've got a long way to go to actually get up to, I guess, those top four sort of spots, which are the main guys.
So you were originally scheduled to play Chris Chapman, then the withdrawal of Nick Howes shifted things around a bit. Now you're playing a qualifier, which would be either Darcy or Tony. What are you expecting out of that match? How are you expecting to do?
Yeah, so I was quite looking forward to playing Chris, because I played him at doubles before, but never in singles. I was looking forward to having a crack at him on my home court, but I can't really complain about drawing a qualifier, and then I'm also going into the 4th seed, which is the lowest I could possibly have gone into. So I'm excited to play either Tony or Darcy. They're both from Hobart. I played both before. I know their games quite well, I like to think, and so it'll be a nice match, I reckon. Good to get on court with them.
You've got a potential quarter-final against Hobart's previous favourite son in Rob Fay. That match could draw quite the crowd. Expecting a bit of support behind you in that one, should you make it there?
Yeah, I think my grandparents and my mum and my dad might come along to watch, and I've never played Rob really before. I think I've done an exhibition match of him in doubles, and I've never really stepped on court with him apart from that. So he's the guy, isn't he? So I can't say I'm not looking forward to it if I get there.
In the doubles, you're partnering with Kieran Booth, which is a partnership you've kind of blossomed over the last 12 months or so.
So we played together in the last Oz Open, drew number 1 seeds, and got lost to Lumley and Vergona. But throughout the Australian tournaments, just all the Ozam doubles and Taz Open doubles and all the amateur doubles. We've been teaming up. I guess preparing and for this, just trying to sharpen our tactics up and try and get as far through as we can.
So you're in the first round against Claire and Will Flynn. How do you expect your partnership to match up against their partnership? How do you think those matchups are going to play out?
I wasn't too pleased to be facing those guys because they're quite good. Will's usually in the UK we teamed up in quite a lot in those sort of events. So I like to think I know his play style to some extent. Claire and Will are kind of quite very different game styles. Will is quite dominating for dead-ons and just power. Claire's just very steady, gets everything back and very tight in. So I think it'll be pretty challenging, that's for sure. I'm not too sure who will be going up or who will be going back or what their tactics will be just yet. But that'll be a match to watch, I reckon.
And where's your season going from here?
I'm going to the US after the Australian Open. So I'll be going to there for the Tuxedo Gold Racket and the US Open in end of February, early March. And so I'll be over in the US for about 6 weeks, and then I'll come back here and start my second year at uni.
And you've got one eye on the clothier as well?
Yes, going to the UK with the Australian clothier limb team at Seacourt in July. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know who's going to be playing in the other teams, but it should be good fun.
Where do you see your tennis career going over the next couple of years?
I'm not actually sure yet because I think it really depends on how much I can improve while also staying dedicated to uni. So I'm going to have to be here for the next 4 years, I reckon, at least. But I hope to, in my summertime, work a bit, make a bit of money, travel and play in a few opens, few tournaments internationally, and then just try and just keep on the scene, keep playing.
All right, Ollie Pridmore, thank you very much.
Cheers, Ben.